Welcome to Contemplative Prayer Experience offered by the Angela Marisi Center for Spirituality, a ministry of the Ursuline Sisters of Louisville, Kentucky. As we prepare to enter into these last days of Lent, and especially into the most solemn and holy week in the Christian calendar, I hope that this guided meditation on Jesus' instructions to those of us who would follow him might help us to prepare for Holy Week. Many times Jesus spoke words of comfort, healing, and mercy. Even on the night of his Last Supper, he spoke about peace and love and joy to those closest to him. Yet Jesus also spoke words that are challenging, that seem almost impossible to comprehend. One such passage is in Matthew 16:24-25. And Jesus says to those who would be his disciples, "Whoever wishes to follow me must deny themselves, take up their cross, and follow me. For whoever wishes to save their life will lose it, but whoever loses their life for my sake will find it." This is the basis of our guided meditation today. Jesus' instructions to those of us who would be his apprentices to lay down our lives in love with acts of self-sacrifice in order to find our truest selves, that part of ourself that is created in the image and likeness of God. So let's just take a moment to ground ourselves in the here and now. And just take a good deep breath, breathing in slowly, and then slowly exhaling. Maybe taking in another good deep breath. And when you're ready, just begin to breathe naturally as you normally would, at your own pace, breathing in and out, in and out. Allowing your breath to anchor you in the here and now. And just notice, what do you hear going on around you? A clock ticking, people moving around in the next room, traffic going back and forth in front of your house. What do you hear? What do you feel? The pressure of your body sitting in a chair, your back, your legs, your feet on the floor. The temperature of the air in the room. Are there any aromas that you smell? Allow each of these just to bring you right here, right now, which is the only place you need to be for now. Allow all of your worries, your anxieties, your plans for the day, allow all of those to just fall away for now. And having grounded ourselves in this moment, let us remember whose we are, and that this God who loves us more than we can imagine is here with us. That God's love is infinite and is given to us without any conditions at all. And as St. Paul writes, there is absolutely nothing that can separate us from God's love, not even our own sins. For as soon as we turn away from them, there is God, standing right there, waiting for us. So let's just take a moment to remember this truth. We are loved. And as we allow God's love to enfold us, and as we soak in God's love, let's just take a moment now to listen to our own hearts and to ask our hearts, what is it that I desire from this time of guided meditation? What is my hope for this time? What do I need? And again, let's just take a moment to listen to our own hearts. And if you desire, in the quiet of your own heart, to offer that desire to God, to speak that desire to God, remembering the words of Theophan, the Russian mystic, who taught that prayer is descending with the mind down into the very depths of our heart, and there to stand face to face before God, who is always loving and ever present within us. So again, let us return to our breath. That natural, normal rhythm of breathing in and breathing out. Feeling your chest rise and fall. Perhaps even hearing your own breath as it enters your body or leaves. Perhaps you even feel your breath entering your body, here at the very front of your nose or back in your throat. But just notice if you can feel that place as your breath enters your body. And then follow your breath as it enters into your lungs, down the back of your throat, entering your lungs, expanding your lungs. The very breath of God breathing in and breathing out. And allow your breath to carry you down into the very depths of your heart. The heart where God dwells, where the seed of God is planted. Where the flame of God burns. Where your heart beats as one with the heartbeat of God. Let's just take a moment to allow ourselves to be here in the presence of the one who loves us more than we can imagine. The one who is the source of all that is. If your thoughts wander, if you begin thinking about this or that or something else, that's okay. That's going to happen. That's normal. Just allow your breath to bring you back into this moment in time, standing before the face of God, who is always loving and ever present within you. And let us remember Jesus' words again. Whoever wishes to follow me, to be my disciple, must deny themselves, take up their cross, and follow me. The cross is probably the most central symbol in Christianity. We all know what it looks like. We see one whenever we go to church. We see crosses maybe even hanging on the walls in our own homes. Sometimes we even wear them. For those of us who are Catholic, we even have crucifixes with the form of Jesus nailed to the cross. We know that the cross that Jesus carried was heavy, made of wood. He needed help carrying it. But think for a moment, what is the cross that you are invited to carry? Each one of us has our own cross. They're not necessarily made of wood or any other kind of material. But what does your cross look like? What are you being asked to take up, to accept? Perhaps it's grief from someone that you have lost, someone that you care for and loved. Perhaps it's loneliness from being separated from loved ones this last year. Perhaps the cross that you carry is wondering how you're going to keep a roof over your family's head and food on their table because you've lost a job. The cross that you carry might be an old wound that goes back years, or a fault that you just can't seem to let go of. Maybe the cross that you carry is the addiction of a friend or a family member, an illness, or a disability. The crosses that we are invited to hold, to take up every day, are made up of all kinds of situations and circumstances, experiences and encounters. So I invite you to take a moment now and to ponder, what is the cross that you take up every day? If you're like a lot of us, you don't want to take up that cross. Sometimes we deny that they're even there. We try to pretend that they don't exist. We want everything to be happy and pain-free, no hardships, no difficulties. And yet Jesus is very clear. If you want to be my apprentice, if you want to follow in my way, you must take up your cross. Accept it and follow me. I'll show you how. And so, using the eyes of your heart, what we sometimes call the imagination, I'd like to invite you to turn around and face that cross that is yours to carry. That struggle, that hardship, that conflict, that need. To turn around and face it. And how would you describe it? What texture does it have? What shape? Is it rough or smooth? Is it hard or even gooey? Does it have a color? As you turn around and face that cross that is yours to carry, what form does it take? Is it round, big? Is it small, but heavy? Is it dark, murky? And as it begins to take shape there in front of you, I invite you now to put your arms out to it and accept it. To draw it in to yourself. To receive it. To hold it close. Not out of duty or responsibility, but out of love. And as you embrace your cross, as you take it up, you are not alone. Christ, God, is there with you, enfolding you as you take up the cross. You are not alone. The strength, the courage, the power, the love of God is with you as you open your arms and receive your cross. Taking up the cross, your cross, is laying down your life, is letting go of ego, the instructions of our society that says, no, you don't have to experience hardship or suffering or struggle. But letting go. And we know that in letting go, that's not the end. There is Easter. It's not an easy road to go on. The road from Good Friday, Holy Thursday, Good Friday to Easter. It's hard. But when done out of love, out of compassion, mercy, generosity of spirit, it brings us to new life. It allows that part of ourselves that is created in the image of God to rise up. We become a new creature in Christ. As difficult as it can be, as much pain as it might cause us, God is able to bring something new out of it. Our task is each day to turn and accept this cross in love, trusting and asking for what we need from God: faith, courage, strength. Trust that God will bring something new out of it. So just as Jesus took up the cross on Good Friday, we too, as his followers, take up our own crosses. We die a little bit to that ego, that self, so that we too, like Jesus, can experience the glory of Easter, of allowing that part of ourselves, created in the image and likeness of God, to be raised up. So I invite you now to bring your attention back to your breath, knowing that you can come back to this place anytime you need to, that you can return to the place in the depths of your own heart where God dwells within you, to stand face to face with God, who is always present and ever loving within you. But I invite you now to bring your attention back to your breath, taking a deep breath in and slowly exhaling. Another deep breath in. Feeling your body in the chair in which you're sitting, hearing the noises around you, feeling the temperature of the air, allowing your attention to bring you back to the space in which you're sitting, to your daily life, knowing that you are not alone in facing it and taking up your cross every day and following the way of Jesus.